Well, hello, and welcome back to the Dungeons and Decoctions cast. I'm Brennan.
I'm Zach. Jason disappeared, I
Jason
guess?
has passed on to the Shadow Realm, I guess.
Good evening.
Ah,
Oh, there he is.
Well, hello. One of us has COVID. I bet you'll never guess who.
Nobody will ever know. It's definitely not Brennan.
It's me.
So, what have y'all been up to recently? It's the last episode.
Last episode? Just job interviews, doing the theater rehearsals, getting COVID from my brother.
Yee.
What have you been up to, Jason? You see anything recently or play anything recently that's
Yes.
tickled your fancy?
No.
Oh.
I downloaded the new
Spoodman.
the old Spoodman game on my computer. Now that they released it today, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Not today.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played it at all today, or
Nope.
is that what you're going to do after this?
Nope.
Oh.
It'll be probably tomorrow. It was a
Ah.
big download though.
Yeah, it was funky. On the topic of seeing or playing things recently, actually, Jason, you've been playing Garden Story.
It's a cute little like kind of not side scroller like adventure game where you play a grape and your name is Concord and you like have to basically it's basically like Stardew Valley but like a grape.
But you're a grape.
And there's fighting, like you fight as well as collect materials and stuff. So it's cute.
Nice.
And you've been playing some Fable, Brennan.
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Fable Anniversary. I was going to do kind of what you had said, Zach, where I was going to play Fable 3, since it was the newest one, and you don't have to play all 3 to understand.
But you might as well start at the beginning.
Yeah, I wanted to play Anniversary, because I played Fable for like 20 minutes as a wee lad, but like, yeah, that's it. So, it's fun. I mean, you can definitely tell it's old.
Mm-hmm.
Some clunky aspects to it, but like, you know what? It's fun.
Yeah. Some sad news that I saw.
Uh-oh.
No sad news.
So,
it's not sad boy
episode, the thing that really made me sad is the KOTOR remake has been indefinitely delayed.
Yeah.
Which I want to play. I'm really looking forward to. I've always wanted it to get remastered, or at least remastered, if not remade. And now, because Asper Media fired 2 of their directors, it's on indefinite hold. And then Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy, got delayed.
I know.
Till February.
Which is there just like they want to get the game perfect or what?
I think that might be a case.
They're not trying to cyberpunk us.
Yeah, on that, I'm like, okay. I mean, I'd rather a game get pushed back a few times and come out polished than turn into a cyberpunk situation where
they fix it a year later.
Yeah, or a No Man's Sky where it was rough.
I don't think people are even playing much of cyberpunk anymore. Like anymore.
People have gone back to it recently, but yeah, no. For the vast majority, no. I've seen a lot of
huge. It was huge.
Yeah, which sucks because it's still a good game and it has a really interesting story and like fun stuff to do in it. But because it has that such rocky launch, people don't want to test it or try it.
I got the super uber fancy collector schmancer edition with a map and all that crazy stuff for what, $10?
Something like that.
Something on Black Friday. I said, okay.
Well, actually, kind of keeping on that recent game trend, I watched this video today talking about how Western developers are really upset at Elden Ring's success for a multitude of reasons. Like that. So
now we gotta actually make good games.
this one lady, she tweeted a few things, and we'll like discuss the tweets. So she works for a few different companies. She's worked on a few different games like God of War, and stuff like that. She's a technical artist, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So she made some tweets about Elden Ring. Her first tweet was, "Me. So who are these guys? Why am I killing them? Where am I? Where am I going? Elden Ring. Fucking dragon. Me. This feels like my 6-year-old designed this."
I don't like that.
And I'm like, the thing that keeps people talking about Elden Ring and the Soulsborne community in general is the fact that all of its lore, like, you actually have to dive in and like look into it, read the descriptions, and it's what makes channels like Vatvidia like exist.
Well, that's why. Okay, so hot take, not really though. The reason I think games like Dark Souls and obviously I almost said Elden Scrolls and Elden Ring are such like just knockout standouts for me is because there's not really hand holding per se. Yeah, with Elden Ring, not so much with Dark Souls. They included some things that people got annoyed about because you made the game easy mode, and it's like, okay, thanks for gatekeeping, move on next. Because it's one of those games that it's like, play it however you want. If you want to lore dive, take as much time as possible to explore the story, I mean, more power to you. You just got more game for your $60-$70, you know? Like,
yeah,
you could spend months and months just lore diving in that game, in-game, not even just like, not even just surfing around on the internet, but in-game, and you'd be satisfied. And if you're just wanting to play through it, even then, you still got plenty of hours, and you're going to definitely get your money's worth.
Oh, yeah, and, like, the lore allows for so much, like, speculation and...
Yes.
Like, creativity, being like, maybe this is why this is happening. Maybe, like, this is why this spider demon exists, or why this black blob is attached to Udic Skundir.
Mm-hmm. And it's, like, it's one of those things where... And I'm not trying to dog on anyone, because I understand... Everyone has their own personal opinions, and I'm not trying to say there's any right or wrong opinions for gaming, because there's not. You know what I mean? It's entertainment at the end of the day.
Yeah, all art.
But that's my biggest problem with mainstream video games and mainstream video game media is in the western part of the world. It's so handholdy with mainstream games, and it's so frustrating. I mean, a perfect example is look at the recent season of Apex Legends that just came out and how much they've catered to quicker time to kill, quicker games, because people weren't wanting to spend as much time in the game because they're like, this is taking too long. My attention span can only last so long, ADHD myself.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, a lot of people want to, like, what, like, Jason and I see a lot when we're playing together is when our teammate gets down, they just quit. They just
quit.
DC.
Yeah.
And it's because respawning is so broken in that game, because it's like, oh, okay, let me have a 80-second timer for my teammates to maybe be able to come get me, and then they have to find a respawn beacon that hasn't been used, and then they're just going to alert the entire server that's left, hey, I'm coming in with no guns and white armor. Don't attack me.
Hey.
But at least it's not Fortnite.
Hey, man, at least the Fortnite respawn beacons recharge.
Yeah, that's I was going to say, but with Fortnite, you have to stand there for 3.5 years.
Oh my god, that respawn time is so slow.
What is it, 15, 20 seconds, if that?
It's got to be like 15 seconds.
But it's not, 8, 9 seconds like we're used to?
Yeah.
Not even. That's the mobile. Anyway.
Back on that topic with handholding that you were talking about, you see that like a lot in Western games with like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for example, where you were just bombarded with icons and quest markers, and everything is just spelled out for you. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, if that's your thing, cool, awesome. Like, I don't like. Sometimes I like a game that just kind of tells me where things are. I don't have to like search through multiple different threads to try and figure out how to do certain quest lines. I sometimes like that, but it is very handholdy, and like you lose that sense of like, especially in open world games, that sense of like adventure and discovering stuff.
Yeah.
Because Elden Ring, there's no like quest markers really. I mean, they added NPC markers, which was useful because you sometimes forget which NPC.
That exactly that I appreciate. You don't need the quest markers with a game like that.
Oh yeah,
and I understand.
Or like
some,
event markers or stuff like that. But like, because
Yeah.
like you go to a new area in Elden Ring, you're like, oh, what's this? Oh, there's this item here. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that. Oh, there's these creatures here, or this boss here, or like I really want to explore this area. Whereas Valhalla or other open world games that have come out recently, they're like, this is what you're going to find here. This is the loot you're going to get out of it. These are all the quests.
Yeah.
This is how to get to that quest. And it's just like I like that, but like I don't feel like I'm exploring the world as much.
Exactly. Like I still enjoy it, and I don't have gripes with it necessarily, but I don't always need it. I'm more, I don't want to call it old school because that seems cringe, but I liked with Elden Ring, like I had a journal next to me while I was playing that I would write certain things down and be like, oh shoot, what was that again? And then I look at it because I could look stuff up on my phone or whatnot, but I just like that experience where I'm sitting in my dorm and I just turned all the lights off and I'm playing my little game and taking notes by friggin' Sensu Light.
Candlelight by Candlelight.
Not Candlelight. Candles weren't allowed, man.
Oh, okay.
But
it's off of that as well as like a game like World of Warcraft. It's almost the exact opposite to an extent where if I didn't have quest markers, I don't know if I'd play it anymore.
Yeah.
Because, I look at World of Warcraft Classic and there was no quest markers. You'd see question marks above quest givers sometimes, or exclamation points, and you'd go click on them, but the location was in the quest and you had to find it.
Yeah.
And remember. And yeah, so like a game like a massive a big old MMORPG, I love quest markers and objective markers and everything like that. But a game like Valhalla, I'm like, okay, you can stop telling me absolutely every detail at any point now, and I'd be okay.
Yeah, and so this next tweet she made, Jason can actually probably chime in on this one.
I was going to say, he needs to.
She tweeted out, every player paid for the game and thus should get to enjoy it. Otherwise, they are just subsidizing hardcore Dark Souls players. Screw them. Everyone who paid should be allowed to enjoy a game that interests them, not get violently owned and then told they suck by the community. And so what I'm taking out of that tweet is that she's
game
like,
too hard.
Oh, like if a person, like let's say a person goes into a horror movie and they don't like that horror movie, they're going to the director being like, hey, this movie's really too scary, so like can you get rid of all that scary stuff so that I'm okay with it, so that like it's good for me. Like that's what genres are, like that's why genres exist. You find a genre, it tells you what you're getting into. You know you're getting into a hardcore action RPG with
it's not hidden. It's not like
they blatantly tell you, hey, this is a hardcore action RPG. And it's still got millions and millions of people into the game. It is already, after like 6 months of release, one of the top 10 highest grossing video games in the US.
All time. You know what I can infer from her tweet there?
Bad at video games.
She didn't beat the first boss.
Well, yeah, it's like the people asking for easy mode.
And no, it has nothing to do with the fact that the reviewer is in fact and identifying is she, her. Please don't yell at me that it is that. No. Ugh. I had to cover that basis.
Jason, what do you think?
Well, like, so I fall on the side of not quite enjoying that style of game.
Right. That's why we want to know what you think.
And I've discussed that with you boys, where I don't really enjoy the like gritty gore, icky weird, like
Victorian.
Well, like the characters look weird, and the characters look weird, but I can still respect that it's a beautiful looking game, and still respect that it's a game that you need to practice and get better at, and you have to figure out the timing and everything.
Right.
So I understand why it's 97% on Metacritic.
Yeah, like I mean, when it came out, I think it had like overwhelmingly 9.5 to 10 out of 10s from practically everybody.
Yeah.
Because
Just
I
like
can
the other game that came out.
respect that. I was gonna say I can respect that.
Well, it's like
because
you look
it's
at like, because I know Jason, you're a major fan of Hades. And it's
yeah.
the same concept where it's like it's a very similar structure of get your butt kicked, learn, and then go back to it.
hmm
It's just you just don't prefer the style. So
Yeah, it's just because
but
it's
you
like
respect, you
the
understand it.
yeah, the character art, like the weird creatures and everything. I can't get into it. I'm like, oh, yikes,
Mhm.
ick. But that's just personal style. Like I'm not a huge fan. I'm not. I would say I don't enjoy like Cronenberg-esque films or
Mhm.
or like even Zach. You were reading what is his name? Junji
Oh,
Ito.
Junji Ito. Yeah.
Ito. Yeah, and like you were showing me that, and I'm like, okay, icky, icky.
Yeah, Junji Ito loves his body horror. And
Ugh.
I mean, if you like stuff like that, because I mean, it's really like interesting and cool, kind of cool. I guess that might make, but granted, I was a psych major, so it makes sense. we've all lost some part of our humanity, but it's just really cool, and I love it, and yeah, but it is really kind of gross.
Mhm.
But like going off of that, like on the trends thing, like as much as Western developers hate it and want to dog on it because it doesn't have, it's not a live service game. It doesn't have microtransactions. It doesn't hold your hand and is right in your face and tells you everything you need to know.
Well, like
They're
so
going
talking
to.
about
They're going to
right in your
borrow it.
face, talking about right in your face, like I haven't played it, but like Pokemon Arceus, isn't that
Yes.
game like 2 hours of hand holding
Oh my goodness! It was
before you
so
even
much
get
tutorial.
so like
Yeah.
and isn't Elden Ring where it's kind of just like they drop you in and they go have fun, be
Yeah,
safe.
I 100% skipped the tutorial boss. Like
See,
100% skipped
that's
it
what I really
accidentally.
appreciated is the tutorial. You could so easily miss it on accident, and I didn't even.
Oh yeah, like
I didn't even mean to find it. I was looking around. And I was like, "Wow, this looks gorgeous." Even in this first little cave area, and I said, "Hey, what's that little ledge?" And I rolled down there, and I was like,
Oops.
because like some devs are like, oh my god, why would you? Because you can beat the game without experiencing like 80% of the content.
Yeah.
And they're like, why? Because you can beat the game without going to face to what is it called? It starts with the C. Oh
Crumbling Faramazula.
No, the other one, the red, where you fight Star Scourge Radan.
Caelid?
Yeah. You can completely skip Caelid and Star Scourge Radan. You can completely skip the Halleck Tree and Melania. But they're like,
I
you know
wish
what?
somebody would have told me that sooner.
FromSoft respects the player's time. They're like, if they want to explore this, there it is for them. You can have fun. But if you don't want to and you just want to go straight through and like beat the like 6-7 bosses you need to beat the game, okay, you can do that too. Like that's why Elden Ring is such a wild phenomenon and why it's so successful, and I love it.
Yeah. So
and
the question is, my dear boys, was this episode going to just be fangirling about Elden Ring, or are we
It's starting to turn into that? No, I was.
That's what I've caught.
I was about to say. I think we should go into a point I want to talk about is the fact that while we've been talking about like open worlds, not everything needs to be open world.
Oh my
Accurate.
god, no. We played that Generation Zero, which is not a bad game, and I was like, because indie developers, I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't remember, but it feels like it.
And like, it was okay to start with, but it's just so empty. And like the new Sonic game that's coming out, I think
Looks
this
empty.
year, it's on. Yeah, it's empty, and it's an open world Sonic. Like, why? You saw how well Sonic 06 turned out, which is considered one of the worst games ever made.
Well, like I think that people looked at how well games like Breath of the Wild did, which
Breath
was
of the
open
Wild.
world, and that was in 2018.
Yeah.
And that's 4 years ago.
You know who we have to thank for the open world craze, right?
Whom?
So it's a mixture of Skyrim.
There you go. Yep.
GTA 5.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 3 and New Vegas a lot.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild, like you said.
Witcher 3, definitely.
Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
And now Elden Ring.
Like,
The
all of
problem
these
is,
games have been like phenomenal, but
Yes.
but it doesn't happen all the time. And
Yeah.
when a company like doesn't build on their strengths, like when BioWare made Anthem
Oh,
and they didn't act on their strengths, they tried to make a live service game, and they are known for their phenomenal storytelling
mm-hmm.
and like kind of smaller action RPG-esque games. It flopped because they didn't act on their strengths and they tried to flow with the trends.
Mm-hmm.
And just because open world is a trend doesn't mean, companies like Hades. Hades is an open world, but it's a phenomenal game and a lot of people love it. Or Tunic.
I would not say that Hades is open world, but yeah, Tunic is most definitely open world. Figure it out yourself. That
Yeah.
game is it's like Elden Ring, but like they just put a anime filter over it.
Well,
I
look,
would,
and
I would
even
say
like,
Tunic is more open area than open world. But
You played it,
like
Zach?
a little bit, yeah. Like it's kind of like old Legend of Zelda, as like you were telling us.
I mean, that's where they took that inspiration.
But, like,
Literally,
there's
it's like
so
almost cut and paste inspiration.
many genres that you can work with that, as long as the company plays to their strengths, it could be a great game. It doesn't have to be open world, especially with so many filler side quests that you see in some games. They're just not memorable.
Like a game that I really, really, really enjoy, and it's fairly new, is Deep Rock Galactic, and
Yeah.
that is not open world.
right.
Oh no.
Well, it's so, we listed a few of the successes that we, mark as responsible for this, I guess, movement of open world. But you look at all the failures of it, and not failures like necessarily the game didn't sell well, but just the hype died so quick. Like you look at the Mafia games, and then like Mafia 3 when they try to just make this giant open world, and it was empty. No Man's Sky when it launched originally,
Oh yeah.
and you look
Fallout 76 when it launched original.
Yep. So this is going to be kind of a hot take. Do with it what you will, but Metal Gear Solid 5, because the story was amazing and people absolutely loved it, but the game was just empty. There was nothing to do if you weren't in mission areas.
I didn't mind. Granted, I haven't. Good lord, I haven't played that game in a while. I didn't mind it per se.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought it had decent. Like it wasn't like phenomenal, but I think it was decent.
I just think that while it had extremely strong story moments, there was super repetitive missions and a bland open world backing it up. But that was my personal opinion. But it's fine. Yeah. Andromeda, Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, like, it was okay. I know I've said this before, and you can go check out our other episodes, shameless plug, to find out what we truly think about some of the other games. But I mean, it was okay. But there was a lot of fetch quests and stuff like that. But kind of doing a full 180.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you guys have something else to add to the open world and games and such.
I was just gonna go ahead and say Zach should check his Snapchat. Games. I know. Okay, so I already talked about Fable a little bit. Has anyone else played anything recently or new or anything else we want to talk about game wise in this episode?
Fortnite, that's new.
Technically, it's new to all of us. So.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Grant, gosh, I've talked a lot in this episode, and I apologize for all our viewers. Because I know we all come here for Jason.
Hell yeah.
Voice.
No, that's incorrect.
But I played a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 recently.
Yeah.
Really fun. A lot to do in that game and manage, which I personally enjoy. And the story's pretty decent too. So if you want to go check that out, I'd recommend it.
Jason, what do you think of the Season 14 changes in Apex?
I really enjoy the new character they added.
Okay.
I don't like the changes they made to Kings Canyon. Rip all my little hidey hole areas.
Oh, there's some new ones that I saw that.
Yeah.
Did you see the
With,
one
like-
above the little canyon that is the little
Yes.
hole that only? Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's Sniper's Paradise.
Oh my god, she has a rechargeable Kraber.
Literally.
It's
It's
disgusting.
God tier is what it is.
And I just saw this. You can throw the heat shields on Echo and just move them around.
What?
So you have a portable heat shield.
Then when you call him back to you, you just have a heat shield on you.
Weird.
Yeah, and you can send them out and they'll move the heat shield. I don't think they fixed it yet either.
That's really cool, actually.
My favorite is all of the, the usual insane amount of glitches that happen with the season change. Like all of the legends. This is only happening on PC that I've seen, but like I've watched a guy playing as Caustic, and then he zips like Path, and he goes, "Huh?" with his Q.
I was gonna say I was playing Mirage, and I got Vantage's like zoom in.
Yeah, those have been my favorite.
What? The game isn't polished? No.
I will say, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a whiny, complaining pro player because that's what all these changes happen because of. But literally, Zach and I were talking 4 days ago about how people complain, specifically streamers like Dr. Disrespect and like Tim the Tatman. They always complain about time to kill in Apex, and they complain that it always took too long to get squad wipes. There was little to no way to get one-hit kills with games like Call of Duty and Fortnite. Like, you just get a strong-ass sniper and pop someone in the skull and you win.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing that anymore. The time to kill is insanely fast in this season.
I love the getting stunned.
You literally die to like fourth parties while everybody, instead of shooting at each other, they just like, oh, we're going to aim down, and just you get like 20 R99s
with the laser sights.
Yeah. I love I love the getting stunned when you're getting shot, so you can't do any movement at all.
That's always been a problem, man. Case in point, my Twitch clip of me screaming and punching a wall.
Oof. Big oof.
Rip those walls.
Yeah, they didn't get hit. They didn't get hit.
You left your mark in that room.
Yes, we did.
Quite literally.
But yeah, I don't know. It's not really a complaint as much of a like, man, I wish this wasn't the way it was. Because it wasn't. It felt nice to have something that kind of stood on its own, away from, COD, away from Fortnite, away from PUBG. Oh God, I wonder if that's even still alive. With the fact that its time to kill was longer, I liked that it was different, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless you're mean, you don't hit your shots.
Literally 2-tapped by Vantage's ultimate and then crying inside because you don't matter anymore.
Or you get cross map with a friggin' pistol.
Laser sights.
Yeah, but
do you guys like the laser sights?
Hit or miss. I realized.
I guess you never miss, huh?
Yeah, you do.
Constantly with the wingman. You don't actually see other people's laser sights. The only lasers you see are from Vantage. I figured that out.
There's so many There's so many lasers though. Too many Vantages.
Want a game or want a squad?
Yeah, pretty much. But one too many.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've gotten to a nice spot where we're rambling enough to wrap up.
God tier rambling.
Make sure you guys check out our Twitch channels.
Yeah.
Ash Shepherd 6 and F4StallCash014.
And an incredible J-Dog, but he doesn't stream. He just shit posts in other people's streams.
That's accurate. Very accurate.
I had a nickel for every time I got a "you garbage" in my chat.
And stay tuned in the upcoming years for Dungeons and Decoctions, the wonderful business.
The great new, I almost said the great new haven for gamers, and I don't know if that's technically kind of copyright. Since they're trademarked now. Can I not say that?
Will be even better.
Yes.
That's why I'm challenging you, Gamer7. You heard it here.
And I'm going to rescind the challenge and say we're going to be awesome homies with them.
Please help us.
Please give me money.
And now you've descended into begging, Zachary.
But all right, thank you very much, and everyone have a beautiful, wonderful, awesome, great day. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.